Well, you could be attacked, you could be murdered, killed, shot, you could be just wounded, like anything could happen to you. If you speak against fascism, speak against neo-Nazis, you should have been like ready all the time for some action, for being attacked and etc. We started a band about 6 or 7 years ago. It's hard to remember exactly, and all of us at that moment were the members of some other hardcore and punk rock bands, and were deeply involved into anti-fascist action and movement in Russia. Some of the uh, main subjects for us were the problems of anti-fascism and fighting Nazis. It was really like actual for us at this moment. So some of our lyrics were addressing this problem. And so then we started to combine like hip hop and punk rock and metal into just into one mix, and keep writing songs about anti-fascism, social problems, political problems, etc., etc. We just liked, the image with masks and all this stuff, because it is also coming from graffiti subculture, like train bombing and all that stuff, because we all are members, like not members, just active. Some of us were like active graffiti writers, so it's came in from this culture. And it was also just smart not to show in your face. You don't want to be so stupid to show your face and say, okay, I'm an anti-fascist, so when you see me on the street you can stab me in the back. Since the early 90s, the neo-Nazi scene started to grow rapidly in Russia, because right after the collapse of Soviet Union, because probably it's because there were too many like ethnic and religious conflicts between different groups in Russia, and also the poverty, and also the feeling of like unsafety among young people. So they easily become the targets for the political propaganda, and became the members of different ultra-nationalist and ultra-right-wing groups. Through the 90s, the whole subculture, like from metal to punk rock, was dominated by neo-Nazis. They were everywhere at the shows, beating up people. They were attacking like hip-hop kids, beating up them because they again saw them as enemies of the race, blah blah blah, all that shit. Like in 2002 or 2004, the real anti-fascist movement started to grow. First people came into the scene who were ready to fight Nazis, ready to fight them, to kick them out of the punk rock shows. People started organizing militant groups. They were really, and one of the persons like responsible for that was Ivan Kutarskoy, and person who one of the first red skin, like actually rash skin in Russia. Who was later murdered by Nazis, and we are like on this tour we are gathering money, like collecting funds to support his family. And he was one of the people who started to fight Nazis back, to organize his friends to fight them on the shows, and then to fight them on the streets, and to protect, to guard the punk rock and DIY geeks. So the whole movement started to grow because the punks finally saw that they can fight back. like 5 years ago, it was the most violent times when there were lots of fights, like mass fights on the shows, on the streets. The gigs were attacked, and the whole level of violence was extremely high. So I think, but then I think after. Yeah, I think then the level of violence started to lowering down, and right now the situation is much better than it was like 2 or 3 years ago. At some point, it became extremely dangerous to be Nazi in Russia, because you can be attacked anytime on the streets. Anti-fascist activists have always been outnumbered, seriously outnumbered, but probably they just believed in what they're doing. People started like to train, to getting ready to fight. They started to attack Nazi shows. It was like the Nazis became the victims. Like the tables got turned. I'm pretty positive about the future because I think that right now everything is in our own hands. We have a long and hard road that we passed, and we have a lot of experience. So probably now we are more educated and experienced than before. So yes, I hope that everything's gonna be like much better than it used to be.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.